You famously said that passing on Deshaun Watson would be like passing on Michael Jordan. So who is the player comparison to another one of your quarterbacks, Trevor Lawerence?
Yeah, that there's no one of those things that kind of took on a life of its own, and it's if you go back to that time when Deshaun was coming out, that really kind of all started because they had the third pick, and if you remember when Jordan was coming out, the Bulls had the third pick, and that's kind of where that all started from. It was at the Senior Bowl, and somebody said something about, and they specifically said it was like, what happens if the Bears pass on Deshaun Watson with the third pick? And I'm like, well, you're passing on Michael Jordan. It's just kind of how I felt like, he has that ability to elevate everything from the coaches to the community to the locker room to you name it. I mean, he's just such a, he's a generational guy and dynamic and just special in every regard. And will transcend the sport. That's just kind of what I felt like. And again, it was the third pick. So that kind of took on a life of its own. But as far as Trevor, I would just say he's going to be the first Trevor Lawerence. I mean, he's unique. I mean, he's just unique. And really all the qualities that I loved about Deshaun, he and Trevor share those. I mean, it's really amazing as far as their poise, their demeanor, their love of preparation, their football IQs, you name it. Trevor's just 6'6", and he's got long hair, and he's fast. He's just a really unique guy. I would say that if you had 100 characteristics that you were looking for in a quarterback, if you just, whatever it is, if there were 50, if there were 20, if there were 100, whatever, most guys you could say, okay, well, man, I wish he was a little taller. He's tall enough, but man, I wish he was a little taller. I wish he was a little faster. I wish he was a little stronger, maybe a little more arm strength. There's not one box you can't check with Trevor Lawerence. I mean, he's just unique. He is the first Trevor Lawerence. That's the best way I can describe him.
Trevor has really been hyped up since he was even in high school as a 16-year-old. People have even compared him to some of the hype that LeBron faced when he was coming out and just these lofty expectations. Do you see the comparison there between the high school hype and, of course, what he accomplished with you at Clemson to now what happens in the NFL?
Yeah, there's no question because of the world he's grown up in. When LeBron was coming up, we and I remember those times when he was in high school and all that, and you had a lot of media coverage and TV, but you didn't have quite the social media presence at that time that we have today. And so this kid, since the ninth grade, has been, as you said, I mean, he's been at every elite whatever. He's been, in the spotlight big time, and he has done an unbelievable job of managing that. He's incredibly grounded. He's very humble. He's strong in his faith. He's got a wonderful support system around him with his family. His mom and dad are wonderful people. He's engaged. He's kept his life simple. I always say he looks like Hollywood, but he's the most un-Hollywood guy you'll ever meet. Truly. But he's so well prepared, and it's not overwhelmed him at all. And he just wins. I mean, the guy's 34-2 at Clemson. I think he might have lost 2 games in high school from the ninth grade on. He's just a guy that's wired and expects to win. And he's done it in such he makes it look easy. He just makes it look easy. And I think the expectations have always been so high from him, it almost plays against him a little bit in some, I think people, it's just normal to some people what he does. And it's really not normal. It's incredible, the ability that he has. But football people know that. And that's why he'll be the first pick. I mean, he's just, and he's going to win. He's going to win. And I know, the pro games, it's everybody's good and the margin gets even smaller, but just like you've seen the specialness of Deshaun Watson, you'll see the same thing with Trevor as he you'll see it translate to the next level as he takes this next step.